This time, I also got my hands on this Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console immediately as soon as it came out. So I quickly wanted to make a video to share with you all to show what this new handheld is truly like. Additionally, I've prepared a comparison video today featuring some of the most popular handhelds currently available on the market. I truly hope this helps everyone gain a more thorough understanding of this exciting new. Alright, first let's take a look at the appearance of Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console. And so, this time, I ended up with this purple version. Why exactly did I choose purple then? Well, of course, I'm a massive fan of Evangelion, so I really adore purple handheld consoles. But this time, the purple on this handheld is incredibly consistent. The entire unit, from the A, V, X, Y buttons, and the D-pad all the way to the joysticks, everything is completely done in purple, creating a truly unified aesthetic. This time, the screen cover is also a super bling-bling pearlescent purple panel, which truly gives it a very high-end and luxurious feel. Even its plastic back cover has this very pearlescent purple finish, making it look quite stylish. Well, you can clearly see that its air intake design this time around is also incredibly distinctive. Alright, now let's go ahead and compare it with its trusty companion, the Retroid Pocket 2S. Well, in terms of its tactile feel, the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld is quite a bit larger and noticeably heavier than the Retroid Pocket G2. This encompasses the ergonomic grip and the substantial thickness of the device's body, both of which are considerably more substantial than the Retroid Pocket G2. Alright, now let's begin by taking a closer look at the button arrangement on its front panel. This time, Retroid Pocket 6 features crystal textured buttons. Their appearance is noticeably more substantial compared to the plastic textured buttons found on the Retroid Pocket G2. And naturally, when pressed, they also offer a considerably softer and more yielding tactile feedback. The D-pad remains consistent, offering that familiar dome switch feel, and the actuation force required for each button press is notably light. Oh, and the start and select buttons this time around have also received an upgrade. Compared to the dual S buttons on the Retroid Pocket G2, they are more sensitive to the touch and also provide a much softer feel when pressed. It is worth noting that the joysticks on these two handheld gaming devices are different. And Retroid Pocket G2 utilizes a concave, smaller joystick, while the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld uses the convex joystick that was previously featured on the Retroid Pocket Flip, which is characterized by a frosted ring around its perimeter. The material truly makes it more responsive, which could make performing special moves much more convenient, you know. And now we'll examine these two handheld game consoles from a side perspective. And well, the shoulder buttons are noticeably quite a bit larger than those found on the Retroid Pocket G2. Now let's compare the backs. The Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console features two additional customizable buttons, and the air intake and exhaust vents have a much more sophisticated design. The only minor gripe I have about the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console is its charging port. It's not perfectly centered, which honestly really gets to someone with obsessive-compulsive tendencies. Anyway, let's now grab some other handheld consoles for a comprehensive comparison. This one is also from Retroid, the Retroid Pocket Flip. You can clearly see its joysticks. They're identical in shape to those on the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console. Both are distinguished by their convex design, featuring a textured frosted ring around their outer edge. However, when it comes to the materials, this one actually feels quite a bit more substantial and solid. Yeah, the joystick on the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console, I haven't even played with it for very long, and it already has scratches on it. It just doesn't seem to be very durable, and I really don't understand why that is. I mean, it's quite frustrating. Alright, so this here is the Odin, specifically the EVA Odin 2 handheld. Let's take a moment and compare its size to the others. Of course, I also swapped the joysticks on my EVA Odin 2 with the ones from the Retroid Pocket Flip. I particularly enjoy the sensation of the joysticks on these handhelds. They just feel incredibly precise and follow my movements so well. Now let's take a moment to compare the sizes of these devices, shall we? As you can see, I've gone ahead and customized the colors of all three of these handheld gaming devices to be perfectly identical to each other. So the buttons and joysticks on both my Retroid Pocket Flip 2 and Retroid Pocket 5, I completely swapped both of those out for a dual yellow setup. And the ABXY buttons on this Odin 2, which were originally grey, I actually sought out an expert in the community, and they painstakingly modified them to perfectly match the color scheme of the Flip. They're the same color as the Retroid Pocket G2, and also this crystal material. It perfectly matches the ABXY buttons on the Retroid Pocket 6. Both are made of crystal material, which instantly gives off a very premium and high-end feel. They're also noticeably larger, making them much more comfortable and convenient to press, ensuring better responsiveness and accuracy during gameplay. Alright, and now let's go ahead and compare it to old Joe's machine. This is an RG477 that I personally have completely redesigned and re-engraved myself, from scratch, taking careful consideration of every detail and perfecting every aspect. Alright, let's take a moment here to compare the sizes of these devices. And on this RG405M handheld, I also swapped the joysticks for those from the Retroid Pocket G2. They just feel better. I've replaced all of them with these specialized micro-switch buttons. Micro-switch buttons are significantly more responsive compared to conductive rubber buttons. And when playing certain games, the overall feel and responsiveness are absolutely fantastic. Okay, let's now compare it to the EVA Pocket DS handheld console, the DS, and see how they stack up against each other. When you compare the screen sizes, you can see how they stack up against each other right here. This gives you a clear visual comparison. The buttons on the Pocket DS handheld console, especially those on the DS, feel like they're crafted with dome switches. They have a wonderfully clear, crisp response. This also applies to the joysticks, as the amount of force needed to use them is significantly less, making them much lighter and more maneuverable. Additionally, the joysticks themselves are designed to be more compact in size. So all in all, the Retroid Pocket 6 handheld console, compared to the other ones we just looked at, is a handheld console with really great overall performance. Everything, from the tactile feel and size of the buttons to its overall performance, has been meticulously considered and integrated. The size is just right, neither too big nor too small, the hand feel is incredibly soft, and the performance is perfectly sufficient for its purpose. So I believe this particular one is probably much better suited for the general everyday player to use it.